Well, I've had my skimmer running for a few days trying to break it in, and I think it finally is. It's a Deltec SC1660 with a manual cleaning head. It's a DC skimmer, so I've actually also got a little controller here, let's see, so I can adjust the power up or down. But the instructions don't give you any idea, I'm afraid, of what an ideal is or why you would want to dial it up or down. Does it give you a denser foam, a less dense foam? Don't know. I had some fun and games. The instructions said when you first switch it on, get it so the bubbles break about halfway up between the bayonet and the bottom of the cup. That was fine. It was bubbling away there, okay, and the next thing you know, it was flowing straight over into the cup with very, very wet skim. I had lots of tinkering with it, turning the power up, turning the power down. Had a good look on the internet, and I couldn't find anything specific to this skimmer, but I found about another Deltec, and the suggestion was to start it off running on a mid-power, so it's running on 4 bars out of 8. Even then, I got a nice skim, because it said, as I said, to start off with the bubbles breaking there. After 12 hours, to adjust it so the bubbles break halfway up the riser within the cup. And it was running lovely. I had a thick skim, which then sort of lifted with a big air gap until that came out, and I thought, this is great stuff. And then all of a sudden the bubbles collapse, it goes all the way down, so you're looking to tinker with it, and then it was up, down, and it was a bit disheartening, really. I think I did an adjustment last night. I don't think it's my adjustment. I think it just has broken in. I watched it, and it built up a foam head of the water level. I don't know if you can see that, but the water level is hovering just under that white. Don't drop the phone in the sump. It's hovering just under that white bar. So basically, you've got water and foam mix to about here, and then the rest is bubbles. This has been running about 12 hours like this. It's staying consistent. It over about 2 hours, it built a head of foam, so it started pushing out, and I thought, oh dear, by the morning I'm going to have a cup full of foam, or it will have filled with liquid. But just coming down to it now, about 12 hours later, there's only a little bit of liquid. It's not as dark as you hope it'll get eventually, but then I've got no fish in there. Just whatever remains of the prawns that I put in to start the cycle, and a little bit of ghost feeding. So there's not really a lot to pull out. It looks to me as though the bubbles, they get big and break right now about halfway up the cup. And then eventually they seem to build up enough of a permanent non-popping head of bubbles until they start overflowing. So I thought, well, looks like a dry skim to me, not really knowing much about it. The bubbles come out and they don't pop much. They sit there for ages. Maybe that's normal. Certainly you would have thought if they're not going to pop at all, I'd have a cup of foam overflowing, but I haven't, so they must be popping at a very slow rate and just slowly building up this tea colour skimmet. So I'm hoping this is about right, and that when I've got some stock in the tank, I'm going to get some darker muck. As to the power, when I need to adjust that, or if I need to adjust that, I don't know. So I think as long as it stays like this and I'm getting a slow pull of this tea skimmer, I'm going to leave it until I've got livestock. Then it will definitely broken in, and then see if I can tinker with it and get some darker muck out at that point. It's quite a quiet pump. I'll show you the manual head. It's a very simple idea. I don't know if you can see, you've got some bars on the top, and it's just a case of turn and wipe it with a blade. I mean, it's a nice easy solution. I guess that's all an automatic head does, but at a fraction of the cost. Whether the the foam will collapse now because I've just given it a wipe. I don't know. Doesn't look like it, which is good. Or maybe it's dropping a bit. But we'll see. We'll let it run.